Okay, 4 questions to start with.
Okay.
Quickfire questions.
Okay.
If you can't answer one of them, we'll come back to it at the end.
Okay.
What is your best business achievement so far?
I think keeping going when it's hard. I think it's so easy to celebrate your wins, but them days when it's hard, just waking up again and doing it all over again probably is the sign of, isn't it, like when you're like psychotic, when you do the same thing over and over again. But I think the days when it's hard, when no one's there like cheering you on, that's my favourite.
I think that's a big topic. I think we'll probably dive into that in a little bit more detail. What is your favourite brand to come out of Liverpool in the past 5 to 10 years?
Out of Liverpool, there's so many. I think I love Noughts and Kisses. Prem works there, love their stuff. I think Rooster and Ready, which is part, obviously, the sisters, but I think everything in Liverpool, I feel like everyone in Liverpool has like a little side hustle and then it becomes a big thing.
It does,
But no, love Noughts and Kisses.
It's quite organic, isn't it?
So
generally it starts with passion and then...
And I think as a city, we're quite unique in how we support. I feel like everyone in Liverpool is so supportive of everyone, and I feel like we're quite unique in that way, and that's like our USP. I think that's why we do so well, because no one's jealous of you. Everyone's like, yeah, do it. Have a go.
Yeah. And everyone's really supportive as well. It's a massive... That's why I've noticed the community side of it. Favourite place in Liverpool to relax?
To relax? Do love a spa day, Jade Spa on the Baltic, one of my favourites.
I didn't even...
It's an apartment block, but she's got a spa on the top, and you look over the whole of the Baltic. It's like a 360 view. Unbelievable.
I'll be looking at that. Last one. This is usually a hard one. What is one thing that people don't know about you that you wish they did?
I think people assume I'm confident, and I'm an only child, so I had only child syndrome most of my life. I was so shy. My family look at me now and go, how is this your life? Like, how are you on TikTok? How are you doing this? Because I'm naturally a shy person, but I think I've made a conscious decision to make myself not shy anymore. Because that was a part of me that I hated growing up. I wanted to be involved, but my body wouldn't let me. Okay. I feel like people don't realise.
And do you feel like, where would you say you are on that scale now? Would you say it's natural, or you still struggle with it a little bit?
I'm faking it till I make it. I feel like I still am shy. Yeah. But I think I can navigate social situations a lot better now, and I can force myself to speak now.
Okay. We'll definitely dive into that one as well. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Boosted Beth or Beth? Should we go?
Like Boosted Beth.
Boosted Beth, yeah.
Everyone's like, you need to change your Instagram name. I'm like,
that's a full personal brand going on there. So obviously the owner of Boosted Tape or Boosted?
We are known as Boosted Tape, but I feel like the brand name is Boosted because for the future, it's not just going to be just tape. And even now, it's not just tape. So yeah, Boosted.
So coming outside of the tape as an individual product.
Yeah.
And we'll go into that as well, because I know you just come off the back of an exciting trip, which is perfect. We're just saying perfect time, because obviously we were supposed to do this podcast a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
And then you had the opening day, which was just chaos. So I'm glad we've actually done it now, because then you've done the trip.
Yeah, literally 3 days ago I've been back. So yeah.
So I feel like I was there with you, to be honest. Like I said, my whole TikTok is you in China. So
everyone was like, I'm loving this China trip. I'm with you. And I was like, I love that.
Cool. Okay. First question to begin with, which obviously everything on this podcast it's usually centered around brand, but we usually work backwards from that. Okay. So you own a brand now. You've also got a personal brand, which we'll go into as well. But it's also about your story and your journey as an entrepreneur. So if I was to say to you, what does the word brand mean to you? What comes to mind?
I think brand isn't a product. I think whenever we do brand inside for Boosted, it's not about the product. It's about how we can speak to the customer, how the customer sees us, I think anyone can sell a product. We're selling more of like not a lifestyle, but like a confidence and this is to solve a problem, this product. We're not just selling you something to make money. It's a product built from a problem I had. So I feel like I want to be that person I didn't have when I was younger to give me that body confidence. So I feel like when I ever think of brand, I never think of a product. I think what we stand for and what we are. Yeah.
Values, experience.
And what we want our customer to be, and who, like, knowing our customer and how they see us.
I really noticed that, with looking at some of your content so obviously when we came to visit you last time and I looked, and what stood out was like the tutorial side of things. So then, and how well you know the different segments of your audience as well. Like each tutorial or video that you do, short form video, is always geared towards someone in particular. And obviously you're not speaking to me, But I feel like if you was speaking to me, it would connect.
I think with tutorials, like we don't charge for tutorials. We offer them free. You can send us photos of your outfit and we'll show you how to wear it, because I don't believe you should just sell someone a product and let them get on with it. I think we're a product that's not easy to use at first. And especially with me growing up with my body confidence or shape, I feel like it's scary. And I feel like we offer that all the time. But I also think they're not meant to be boring. Like they're meant to be a bit fun. Like we are a bit cheeky with some of the stuff we say, or I'm very honest, and like you'll just see me like taping on. I'll like flash my top a little bit and you'll see the tape underneath. And I think looking like a real girl helps, because the real girl's looking at me. So I feel like that does help.
And there's such a strong emotional connection in that, isn't there? Do you feel like that's almost like a superpower? Yeah, because I care so much, and sometimes that's probably a downfall as well. But I think I care about what the customer thinks we are. I don't want them to ever think, oh, I'm just selling you this product. I'm saying you can wear it, but you probably can't. But I've got a sale. I feel like I want them to know, like, I've made this product for a reason. It's not just I saw a gap in the market and I thought I'd do it. Like, it's for a reason. I think the tutorials help us with that, because as much as it's me, we are going to be incorporating a few of the other girls into it who have different, like, smaller chests, larger chests. But it's more showing, like, I'm selling you this product, but I know you can wear it. Okay. And this is how. And that's just the belief then, isn't it? Yeah. I feel like you feel that in content. So, like, you know, I know, again, we'll go into this more detail, but I know you've been sharing a lot more content on your own TikTok and growing your audience and stuff. And I feel like you are that person that you're talking to, you are that person. Yeah, I'm selling it to myself. Yeah. And I feel like that helps a lot, because I know my customer, because it's me. And I feel like I did get shocked when we launched the brand that we had different age brackets and the different customers that we did really connect with. But I think as girls, we look at models a lot, and I feel like models and like certain people on the media look a very particular way, and it's not. I think we're getting better now, and there's different body shapes and there's different people, but I think brands still go for that model look, and especially now skinny's back in, and it really worries me that skinny's back in. So I think just showing a normal person on a screen, we don't overly edit, we don't have a big setup, it's quite real, quite raw, and I feel like people like that part of us. Yeah, I would agree with that. And do you think, you just said that about, I guess, being worried about the skinny coming back in and stuff. Do you feel like a big responsibility on your shoulders to sort of carry like a movement in a certain direction? I do and I don't, because I feel like I know a lot of skinny people who are naturally skinny who they have body issues as well. And people think, oh, skinny's bad, you should be curvy, and it's not natural for some people. And I think we do have a range of girls now that are skinny and who are curvy and in between. But I think with social media, we're so powerful, and I think we need to be very careful about what we push. So I feel like I don't want to say skinny's not in, because there's skinny girls that are naturally like that. But then it's like just being naturally who you are, because we do have things for skinny girls to make them feel more confident. So it just depends. Yeah. And what struck me as well, like, it's sort of going back to the point of selling something that you believe in. Like, even to the point when we came to obviously the new HQ, which we'll talk about. You mentioned the reason behind everything. Like, we literally you took me around the whole place, and there was a reason for everything. Like, for example, the shop. Yeah. So then the reason for having shop wasn't to be able to sell more product. It was the fact that you know that people are sometimes rushing last minute, and they might need to run in and get something. And I think also having the shop gives people a bit of peace of mind. Like, people do like coming in and going, as much as the girls are trained, they go, as Beth in, can I ask her how to do this? And like, the girls fully know what they're doing. Yeah. And I think it's that more personal aspect. Like, no matter how big we grow as a brand, I still want to be, oh, that's that girl from Liverpool. She can help me if I need help with it. So I feel like the shop helps us do that, and everyone's loved it. And people come in now, and there's a space where it's not like they're just stood in an office getting a bit of help. Like, there's space now. So I feel like it's a very pink space. Very pink space. I said that, so there's twice that I've been, and Nipped in last week as well. And it felt more pink. I don't know how it could be, but it's definitely more pink. It gets more pink every day. Yeah. Like, people go to me, do you get everything custom made? And I'm like, no, I go shopping in February, pink and red for Valentine's. I go shopping in February. Like, it is very pink. Yeah. Okay, so what I want to do is, there's a key point that you touched on that I really want to get to, but I think we can work up to it, because I'm sure there's a lot of experience before that, and that point was the product, and I guess Boosted itself coming from a problem that you had to solve. But I feel like we can dig in a little bit before that. Yeah. So what does early life look like? You said you're an only child. Only child. My dad was very ill when I was young, so he's had a heart and kidney transplant, which I think there's only 6 people in the UK that have ever had both at the same time. So a lot of my childhood was back and forth to hospitals to visit him with my mum. My mum worked
full time, would drop me off at school, go to work, pick me up, take me to Manchester to see my dad when he had his transplant, and we'd come home and she'd do it every day.
Oh.
So I think I'm not from money, but I've never I never knew we weren't from money when I was a kid. So I think social media wasn't around when I was young, which probably helped a lot. But I had so much love around me, like my family and my friends are so important. I've got the same friends since high school, still got them now. I think younger life, it was hard when I look back, but I always felt happy. And I feel like that's the most, like people go to me, what, you went to hospital most days to see? And I was like, yeah, but it was normal for me. So I feel like I used to do my homework with the nurses, like that was so normal. So I think it gave me a perspective of I grew up young probably. And I think my mum and dad feel guilty for that sometimes, but it's probably helped me along the way. But yeah, I grew up young.
So what age are we looking at around there? So like high school or younger than that?
No, I was in primary school when he had his transplant. So I think I was about 10.
Okay.
9, 10. So I was in the last year of primary school when he had his transplant.
And how did that look going into high school then? Was that consistent throughout high school as well, or did things change?
So he was home by the time I started high school, which to me was bizarre. So like it was getting used to a new normal of like I'm not going in and out of places. But
it's actually the other way around. So what is people's normal then was strange for you?
My mum would come home from work and she was home and I was like, this is so bizarre. So yeah, so having that normal life at high school probably did me well. Like he was still recovering, but it was a more normality. So once I started high school, I think that's where I got my confidence from as well, because I did have a bit more stability and I did have a little bit more life. But that I always say I wish he wasn't ill, but the fact that he was ill makes me, I feel like we're a lot closer as a family. Yeah. And it helped us as a family, I think.
I feel like, I mean, even just that first conversation I had with you when I first came, you mentioned family quite a few times.
And an only child, I feel like my mum and dad are your best friends. You don't have a brother to fight with. You're not competing for anyone's attention. Like I got their attention. Yeah. And I feel like it makes us like, we're like a three. We're like a little unit. Team. Yeah.
I like that. And that's nice to hear as well, because I think, how old are you? Like
I'm 29 now, nearly 30.
Same age as me, yeah. I feel like you lose that very, very easily. I feel like you don't naturally keep that closeness with your family.
No.
I feel like there's a lot of, and I feel like there's a lot of responsibility on us as well, because especially when you start running a business, you have a life and your parents will let you be.
Yeah. I still do live at home, which probably does help, because I think I still live at home for a few reasons, but I still live at home because everything went into Boosted. So the years where everyone was buying houses and stuff, I started Boosted. Yeah. But I also like living at home. I'm hardly ever there. I like seeing them. I get lonely. I've got the dog. My mum does my washing.
And your office is basically like
next
home
to
anyway.
My house, yeah.
And it's like, it's unreal. So we're going into sort of high school and things. So what was the initial driving force for you? So like, if you think of like career, have you always been career driven? Is there always something you've had in mind?
I'm not naturally academic. So in school wasn't the easiest place for me. I'm really bad at exams. I think I knew if I could do it, I could get really good marks. So like we used to have like BTECs for like business, and I used to do really, really well in them classes. But then when it comes to like maths, English, science, I just was really bad. I got really anxious in exams, and I feel like schools, I don't know whether they're changing now, but are really quite badly set up. They're like set up for one type of person. Yeah. And I feel like, not that my school weren't saying like you're not going to become everything, but they were very much like academic. Yeah. And I feel like
a bit short-sighted.
Yeah, and I feel like in some ways I've done a bit better than some people that were academic in the long run, because when you go into the real world, you don't have to be academic to do everything you do. Like I went to a college which was a BTEC, my uni was a BTEC, and I got a degree without doing an exam. So I feel like I'd love to go back and just tell me that, you know what, it doesn't matter if you don't get an A in that exam, you know, like it's fine. Like,
would you like to do that? Maybe like go back into schools and that. Have you done anything like that before?
I've gone back to my university.
What university was it?
UCLan, so in Preston. Okay. Yeah. So that was nice to go back to there, but I do think, and I don't think schools have changed that much considering how much the world's changed. I do think it's still very academic focused, and so many people I know weren't academic who are successful. I've met like big directors of big companies and they're like, I'm dyslexic. Yeah. I can't do exams. I'm not good at this. And it's like, I think, and it's not to take away from the people who are academic, but I think just to tell kids like, you're actually all right, you know, you're creative, like your brain just works differently. Yeah. But that's fine.
I think that's massive. I think the inspiration's a big driver of that. But I think when you come to, and you might even have it yourself now, because obviously you've got a team. So I found my outlet for that was understanding what I was good at and what I wasn't good at, which you had to push your ego aside a little bit. Yeah. Especially when you get success at the start of business, I feel like you can do it all. But then it's like
that
you
should do it all as well.
And it's that new levels, new devils then, isn't it? You feel like you cracked it and all of a sudden you go, oh, this is a space I'm not used to now.
No, and I also think there's no point hiring someone that knows everything you know, because you might as well just do it. And I think the minute you say to yourself, you know, I don't know everything, is when the brand can grow, because taking new ideas on board and taking fresh ideas, like someone, even like having different ages or different backgrounds around you, I think really does show you like people's brain work differently. So your customers' brain works differently. So having different opinions help.
Definitely. I think that is a big stumbling block in business that I think people get, is just maybe being too honed in on what they know.
Yeah.
When in reality, a lot of the time you'll know this yourself. Like we don't really do e-commerce ourselves, but we sell like digital assets. And we quickly realized, which I'm sure you've realized quickly, is what you think is like something that's popular or something that's needed
never be the popular
is
thing.
actually not what they need, and it's something else.
It'll never be the popular thing ever. I feel like I'll do a video and I go, this will fly, and it won't. And then the one we've done in seconds that we don't think will do that well is the most popular.
Yeah,
so.
Probably the most natural. Maybe there'll be little markers that you can pick up on.
Yeah, but like it's just.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially with social media, it does change every day. People say it, but it changes every single day.
Yeah.
So no one's an expert in it. Like, it really annoys me. Do you know when I'm not see some LinkedIn posting like, I'm a social media expert, I'm a TikTok. No one is, because no one knows. The people who work there aren't even experts, because it's changing every single day. So I think I
completely agree with that. I actually seen something similar on LinkedIn recently, and it was about AI, and somebody made a point of saying like, there's so many AI experts around LinkedIn now, and then it was a stat. I can't remember the exact number of hours. It was maybe like 100,000 or something. It was a ridiculous number of hours that apparently you then classed as
an expert.
So then you look at how long AI has been around. You're like, realistic, can anyone be an expert?
That's changing every day as well. So it's like,
by the time you think you know something, it's changed.
And I think meeting other people that own businesses, even big businesses, everyone's winging every day. Like I used to think these people have got the life together. They know what to do. And you go into these meetings and they're like, I've got no clue what I'm doing. I'm just trying not to sink. Like I don't know what's happening every day to day. And I think that helps. And I think meeting people who are successful on a more personal level is quite good, because they're more honest with you. And I feel like online they're always going to be like, we're doing amazing, this is this. But when you know them, they're like, it's a really bad month actually, or like, this hasn't worked, we spent thousands on this and this hasn't worked. So I think that helps.
I think that's kind of like, I guess, the point of what we wanted to make with this podcast, really. I feel like, I don't know if you agree, but do you consume a lot of podcasts?
Yeah.
So I feel like, I'd like to get your thoughts on this actually. I feel like most podcasts are always in hindsight.
Yeah.
So especially
really
business ones.
People.
So it's sort of like, this is how I did this. And it's like, they're not lying, but it's been packaged up in a way. They've had time to repackage it.
I don't think they really even tell you anything on a lot of them either. No. Like they go, I've done this because I've done this, but then they don't tell you how they've done it. So it's like, well, that's
sometimes they don't know.
No. And I'm like, well, that's amazing. But like, how did you get here? Or like, they're not that honest with how they got there. And I think I'm probably too honest sometimes. Like I tell everyone, you know what, it's hard. Like my worst thing that people say to me is like, you're so lucky.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, like I work so hard for this. Like, yeah, I'm lucky that it took off, but it's not lucky that it's like this. And I think the work that goes behind it is missing on a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Actually, there was a Richard Branson podcast with Stephen Bartlett, and he was on about, when you said about big businesses and people actually not knowing what's going on, and there was like a big one line that came out of that where he was already like millions into turnover and everything. He didn't know what his P&L was, like his profit and loss. He didn't know what margin meant. Didn't know what anything meant.
And I think once you're a big brand, it's so easy to snowball. Like you probably don't even know you're running at a loss. It's even like that for us sometimes. Like when you're running ads and you're running stuff and your money's coming in, but then the money is going out. But like it's not obvious where it's coming in and out. You don't see it like on one day of the month, and then all of a sudden you look back at your stats and you're like, God, we've been running at a loss for like.
It's
3
not like
months.
looking at your like. I think this is a comparison we can draw. Actually, if anybody that's listening and watching that doesn't run businesses, I think you would assume that looking at like. Oh, this one. I do that every single episode, don't I? Right, let me keep this one. Okay, have I done it? Right, it'll be fine. Okay, you just won't be able to see your face for the whole podcast now
like
because my hands in it. We ready to go? Okay. What was I saying now? Oh yeah, I think as a comparison that we can draw is when you look at making money, not making money, losing money. It's not like a personal bank account.
No.
So you look at a personal bank account, if you got no money, you can tell you got no money.
Yeah, it doesn't tell you.
It's not like that because you have cash flow and everything. But that must be so much harder in e-commerce as well when you're selling product because of the cash flow.
It is. So cash flow is probably our biggest problem now. So the bigger we've got, the more of a problem it's become. So when we were smaller, that money just had to cover stock. Like that's all it had to do. So that money in the bank, I knew what that money in the bank was for. Now we have overheads like rent, we have staff, as something gets more popular, I've got to order double that stock, which doesn't give the cash flow. And I think even figuring out how you get it shipped in because it's bigger quantities, where we're going to do it, when we're going to do it, how you do it. I think cash flow is probably something I definitely wasn't prepared for. Like being not academic means money and numbers
it's difficult
and spreadsheets.
To visualize and things.
And I do always think like it's something that I'm trying to learn along the way, and I don't just let an accountant do it. I sit with my accountant and go like, what are you doing? I want to learn it. Like not completely to be like an expert, but more just so then I know this is what we've got.
Sometimes you like we did the same thing. Like put too much trust in an accountant, and then you quickly realise that you need to understand. Even if you can look at it and you understand it, you don't need to be able to do it. Just understand it.
I said like I don't want to be the accountant. I don't want to do all that type of stuff, but I just want to understand. Because sometimes I look at our bank account and I start panicking, and she's like, "No, calm down, you're fine. Like you've got like this is coming in, this is coming in." Yeah. And it's easy. Like that number in your bank isn't real either. Like money's not real when it's in a business account. Like it comes and it goes. And I feel like that's the hardest lesson, because I've not come from money. When I see a number in a bank and then it's dwindling down, I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna have a business tomorrow. And then it works out.
That's such a common feeling. That when you said before about you see things online and stuff and you think it's all great, I would love to put like 50 business owners in this room now and ask them how many times in the past month have you felt like you're not going to have a business tomorrow?
Yeah, I feel like
it would be the majority.
Every month the girls laugh at me in the office. They're like, Beth, calm down. You've said this every month. I'm like, I know, but like, because we've just had the reno as well, which costs a lot more money than I think anyone ever expects. What a rent. I know I'm never renovating a house. That's never happening. But I think money does come and go, and you kind of not got to focus on it too much. So you've obviously got to focus on it because it's got to be profitable. But I think when you grow in a brand, not everything's profitable. You spend money on just growing, and then it'll pay off in a few years' time. Like I don't pay myself a big wage because I know in a few years' time I will be able to. So it's kind of making the sacrifices at the beginning to like understand where you're going to. I think people look at me now and think, oh my God, you must be minted. And I'm like, no, never been more skint, but yeah, okay, thank you.
That's so true.
Yeah.
But that links back to the point you made earlier on about the type of business that you're building. It's not a business that you're just selling product. It's but based on a problem that you had to begin with and the passion for it. Yeah. And then that directly correlates with you not just taking all the money out of the business or not acting like you've got all this money in. No. There's the realism of it.
Yeah. I think it's so easy to get wrapped up in money as well. Like, especially when you go to events, like I get invited to a lot of events now where there's people who are on a lot more money than I am, and you see their life and you feel like you should have it. And I think social media's became that thing. Like everyone thinks they should have the newest bag, the newest house. They should be buying a new build. They should be getting it all rendered. They should be ripping it out. And I think it's fine. Not like things are luxury for a reason. Like it shouldn't be a thing that you just naturally get. Yeah. And it is a thing where like my type of luxury could be so different to what like you think was luxury.
Could be time.
Yeah.
Could be something really simple.
So like I think it's just learning not to get wrapped up in that life, because it's so easy to get wrapped up in that life, especially on social media, because I do TikTok for me as well as boosters. I think it's so easy to get wrapped up in the materialistic life things just to make your TikTok look good. But I think the reason why we work is because we're not very materialistic at all.
And the more you're actually in work is probably a direct sign.
Yeah.
We'll go on to your TikTok and stuff like that, but I just want to touch on the point you just made there. Do you have days where you just want to give up?
100%. My friends are the only reason why I haven't, and the girls in the office. So when we done the reno was the hardest point. Everything went wrong every day.
By the way, just want to say, sorry to interrupt, that's when I first came across you. I think there was literally a picture of you outside.
With the keys.
Yeah, with the warehouse. And I was like, this is interesting, I need to follow this. And then I think I followed you on Instagram, and then it kind of went from there.
But it's just quite interesting to think like you seeing that as a success and finding me was the hardest point we had. I cried every day. When I say something went wrong every day, that wasn't dramatic. For a month, I had a phone call with bad news every single day. And I think it probably look back now and some of them bad news were so trivial, but like it was just bad news. Nothing good was happening for so long. We also moved in our quietest month, which was really good for time wise, but for money wise in the bank wasn't. And I think I was Googling at midnight, how do I sell a business online? I was like, do I message my boss back at Lidl and ask him if I can come back and work at Lidl for a few hours? And I remember thinking it's just not worth it anymore. Like, all of this effort and nothing's coming back. And then we had an opening day for our unit. And I won't lie, the day before that opening day, I still was thinking this isn't worth it anymore.
You were speaking that day. That's when we was on about the podcast and stuff. And I was like, you were like, no, I'll come. I was like, listen, just.
Yeah. I was like, I still was thinking, no, I don't really want to do it anymore. We were there till late that night, still getting it done. And I was like, no one's going to turn up. We didn't do proper invites. We didn't invite like a lot of influencers. We just put it on social media. And then the day of the opening came and we had 300 people come through the door.
It's crazy.
And every single person that came through was just like, we're so excited for you. Look how amazing it is. And I think you get so lost in stuff that you forget how good it is. And I think that day I went to Nando's in my pink suit with my pink slippers with my best friend at the end of it. And I was like, I can't wait to sleep. I haven't slept for a month. Like, and I had the best sleep of my life. And then I think since then I had to change my mindset because I'm responsible for how I feel a lot of the time. And I think I was coming in going, what's going to be wrong today? Where instead when we started fresh, we were like, right, what can we do now? Like, what can we do now? It was worth it. So it's so easy to, I think it's so easy to want to give up.
How early did you start looking into social media? Because obviously we've looked at uni. What did you do in uni, by the way? What was it?
So my degree was fashion, promotion and marketing.
So that makes sense.
Yes.
So then graduated.
That was a bit of everything, our course. So we had to do everything. So from the theory to physically building the packaging, doing the graphic design, the web stuff.
Which again makes sense. Because you do everything yourself at the minute.
Do everything, So like that was a really good course. And I went to Graduate Fashion Week. I was the only one in that uni that year to win an award. Everything was really good. I loved my uni degree. And I think it's because I loved what I wanted to do. Like it was never like, God, I've got to go to uni. Like I loved it. And I didn't live at uni. I lived at Liverpool and travelled in.
Okay.
And I think that helped a lot because it grounded a lot more. Like you're not like living away from home and you're not like wild. But after uni, I went into a job that changed how I, like, so it was an e-com job. So they trained me how to build websites properly. So I'd done it in theory, but this was more properly.
Yeah.
And then my role developed more into a buyer. So they took me to China for my very first time. I used to go to Paris 3 times a month, 4 times a month sometimes. I was learning French. I was there that often. Like it was a lot. And that job was so fast paced. And I think now I couldn't have done that at my age now. But when I was doing it then, I was so hungry to learn. And it was exciting. And it was like, I got to do all these things. And I think that like people think I just started a brand and figured it out. Like I've done it as a job. So like I've kind of took all my skills. When I left the buying role, I went into a social media role. So then I'd learn that side of stuff as well. So
you're literally building the components, aren't you, that you use now?
And I think that's what's really hard. So I think, especially when you first come from uni, you see all these people owning businesses and you think you want to do it and you might have that idea. But if I would have started Boosted back then, it wouldn't have worked because I didn't have the skills. So like every job I was in, I learned skills. Like even working in Lidl, you'd learn customer service skills, you'd learn money skills because you'd have to like cash your till up at the end of the month and stuff. So it was like,
problem solving, everything really, isn't
like
it?
every job that you're in, I think take everything you can, even if you think it's like, oh, I'm just in retail until I finish uni. Like that retail job's teaching you more than you'll know. Like even I used to work at Next when I was 16 and learning how people shop, like and what people shop for when they come in. And I think it's so easy to go, I want to own this business, I want to be this, I want to be that. I was like, I only can do Boosted because I learned all them skills. And that's something I do need to talk more about because I don't really talk about my past jobs, but I've left every job on good terms, which means if I need help from any of them, they help me all the time. Important. And I think it's just good and it's a collaborative. Like you never know when we might cross paths. And I think it's super important to leave places on good terms.
Without doubt. So piecing that together then, so when did you graduate?
Years ago, and I think it was 2018.
How old are you roughly?
I would have been like 22.
22, and then you went into the ecom role after that?
Yeah, so
basically from the age of 16 pretty much, from working in Next.
Yeah.
From then, literally you've been building the toolkit basically all the way up to 22, 23. And then when was Boosted born?
Boosted was born 3 years ago, so 2022?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was on my bedroom floor, 80 rolls. My nana had sadly passed away and she left me £1,000. And she said to me, you're so careful with money, Beth. Be careful with half of it, but for the other half, do something crazy. She was like, go on a mad holiday. What
a message that is.
She was like, go on a mad holiday, spend it on something mad, take a risk. But that £500 started Boosted.
Really?
And I do think that has helped with Boosted as well. I've always had that personal responsibility and she's with me on it. Like, and I think that's why it works sometimes. So I think £500 started that business because I had them tools. If I didn't have them tools, I would have had to hire a graphic designer, a web
all
developer.
All of a sudden £500 doesn't.
No.
So was you able to just focus that money on stock pretty much?
That was just stock,
finding,
basically, yeah. So my supplier with samples, I'd actually sampled them for years because I was just using it for myself.
Okay.
So my best friend was the one that said to me, sell them, Beth, because if you need them, everyone needs them. So she always does take credit for Boosted, to be fair. Faye does take credit for the fact that I've got Boosted.
Shout out.
Yeah.
She'll be sharing this clip, probably. We'll clip it and she'll
be buzzing. So I think I made the logo myself. I'd done the buy-in myself. I knew how to find suppliers. So that saved a lot of money because samples are a lot of money.
Okay.
So you don't just get a sample for like cost price. Like if you're opening a new mold or you're changing something, they will charge you like £300-400 per sample, no matter what it is. That same with clothing as well. So I think I knew how to speak to suppliers. I knew how to negotiate. I knew how to do stuff like that. Built the website myself. I actually set the TikTok shop up, but I was really lucky with TikTok. They were just starting TikTok shop.
Yeah.
They were throwing resources at everyone.
I remember it.
Like
when they first
throwing everything at everyone. So I was a freelance marketing at this point, and I went to London and learned with them, but they learned with me as well. So there was like loads of us at the time, and they used small businesses to prove to large businesses, this is like a thing that's going to be happening. So I soaked everything in, but I got really lucky that I got to learn before it was big. So they were throwing every resource, every information. They wanted us to succeed. Where now it's very much different. It's a big corporation now. It's a big machine now. So I think jumping on them trends early does help. But it's not that it's too late to start on TikTok. Brands still thrive on there. It's just you're not thrown as much opportunity as you was when I started. So that was really lucky that it was that time. And I think I started it at the right time, but I was very particular with the time that I started it as well.
Okay.
I saw the opportunity there.
Yeah.
And then, we sold out within an hour on our first release. And so at that point, I didn't even have a printer for my labels. So I used to go to the Every Drop-Off shop, which was like a mini Tesco by mine. To sit on the floor, and the shop assistants used to help me stick my stickers on.
Really?
So I think that was like a whirlwind. And to be fair, it hasn't slowed down.
Like, it was only 3 years ago.
And it hasn't slowed down. And I think we were buying more, selling more, buying more, selling more for like years, to the point where now we can be a bit more planned.
Yeah.
But that doesn't come quick.
A bit more strategy behind it.
Yeah.
So when you go back to that starting point where you've got the samples, you've probably, you've already been using them a little bit, but you got obviously using something yourself and then selling it at scale is a different beast, isn't it? So what did that first rollout look for? So let's go into a mindset of somebody that's watching or listening to this, the aspiring business owner in Liverpool, or a really driven female that they know of a product that is not out there, or they've got an idea. What does that even look like to bring that to market?
I made sacrifices on packaging, and I think at that point, to get it in a box made the price a lot higher. And it wasn't that I didn't want to pay for that price, but I wanted to make the product affordable. And we were ordering such small quantities that the price is higher. So I used to just stick a boosted sticker on a plastic wrapper. Anyone who bought boosted for the first 2 years, that's how you got boosted tape. And I thought customers would be fuming about that. They weren't. They just wanted the product. They didn't care. And I think sometimes you can get so wrapped in your head about how your brand looks. The customer doesn't care. You care because you want it to look a certain way.
That's sort of what we was on about before, where what you think matters actually when you get the feedback.
And I remember doing a video going, look, you get it like this because I've sacrificed packaging over product.
Yeah.
I know the product is amazing, but if I want to give it to you in a box, I've got to double the price.
Yeah.
So, people weren't bothered, and they were saying like, now you get it in nice packaging and it looks lovely, but we're ordering in such bigger quantities now that we can afford to do that. And I think just being honest, like you don't have to lie to your customer and be like, we've got it all figured out. Like I used to say to them, like, I can't afford a box yet. So I'm sorry, but the boosted sticker's going to have to do for now. And they were like, I don't care, it works. I've bin the wrapper anyway.
Yeah,
like, I
exactly.
don't mind.
It's not exactly something that you
So we made sacrifices. Like I didn't love sending it out like that because it didn't look like professional at all. Yeah. But in a way that kind of helped us because people didn't want us to be professional. People wanted to feel like it was like a girl down the street selling them something. Yeah.
Do you still feel like you've retained that?
Yeah, I definitely do, because I feel like customers, like we do laugh when I get called Boosted Beth by people now, but like people have watched me since the start, and I think they don't know me, but they go, I'm so proud of you, and like you've done so well. And I was the first customer, I was like when you first dropped, and I think that helps a lot. But yeah, sacrificing things, like you're not going to look like a big professional business, and I think it's really easy to compare yourself to businesses who are already established. Scroll down their Instagram feed if they've not deleted them and watch how they used to post.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be nothing like what they post like now.
So different.
Like
and you really overthink it, don't you? Really
I used to do my videos in my bedroom against my wardrobe with me just pulling tape. And then I think back now, like some of the productions we do, and I'm like, it started so simple. Yeah. I think it's so easy to do big, massive photo shoots and spend money on things to look professional, but customers connect with you more when you're not a big corporate brand. I think they want to know that you're new.
I think that is like sort of like a silver bullet, isn't it? That being able to grow at scale and essentially take the business and the vision where you want to take it, but still being connected.
Yeah.
Like even like you look at, I think Gymshark's a really good example. I know it's sort of in a completely different space, but there was a period where they completely disconnected.
Yeah. And I feel like people know Ben still now.
Yeah.
The fact that you can name the owner is so rare for a brand that size.
that is serious.
I think he's gone back to his old style of stuff,
Exactly.
which is nice to see.
I think there was a disconnect in between, and now they've sort of gone back to the roots, especially with like all the new types of training and like reps and all these brands that have come out. It would have been really easy for us to go, okay, we need to compete with them, but they've not.
They've stayed their own style.
Yeah.
They've not tried to rebrand. They've not tried to change the style, really, have they? But I think even that with like my job was social media, but I've hired a social media person, which is, she's over there.
She's not on camera, but
she's with me.
She looks shy. Let me just tell you, she looks shy.
She's definitely not.
You can hear her. She's not shy, for anyone that knows.
But that was a big thing, because you think, that's my job. Why should I like that? People are going to expect me to do this, but you get pulled in so many ways as an owner. Like things that you never know are going to happen. Like you might have to go to meetings that you just never think of, your time spent doing other stuff. And I think that was harder for me. But the minute I'd done it, it made life so much easier, and it made the brand so much better. And the fact that my brain was the only brain on it for that many years, having another brain on it now has changed. You'll notice as well, like the content's fresh, it's different, it's new, it's
always different.
It's exciting. Where like when it was just me, I was just like, I'll just go and do that again. Yeah. Or that video done well last month, I'll do it again this month. Where it's good to have more people.
How did you feel the first time you was told not to do something that you used to do? Because maybe there was just a wider, like a bigger picture, instead of you just talking about something and nobody ever telling you any different. All of a sudden, somebody you've hired and you're paying is telling you not to do something. I like it
when the girls tell me off, because I get so overexcited. Like the girls shout at me constantly. They're like, stop telling people everything that's going on. But I like, we've got quite a good relationship. There's only 3 of us in the office, and I feel like we can be quite honest with each other, and I want that environment to stay the same even when there's more of us in there. Yeah. I never want to be like, I'm in the office with the girls. I don't have my own. Like, I never want to be like, oh God, she's coming. I'm going to have to pretend I'm doing this. I'm going to have to like, this is like, she's going to think I'm doing this. I feel like I'm very trusting with them, and I do trust them, and I trust them so much to the point where they come to me and like, am I okay to do that? I'm like, yeah, do it. It's fine. Yeah. And I think trusting the people that you work with, it means you get the most out of it. Yeah. Like I've been in jobs before where you're micromanaged and you don't do your job. You just go in, do your bare minimum, and you go home.
Yeah.
Where I think
the smaller your team is as well, like them sort of like sour apples, like they stand out a mile. So if you were to take someone on and they came in and did the bare minimum, everyone would be like, what's going on?
No, I know. And I think we all have a similar work ethic, which is good. And we're different ages, which was really, really good. So like, I joke because I'm nearly 30 and I'm having a really bad time about it. But Molly, who works for us, is like 26, and then Ellen is 23. And I feel like that helps because we all have different perspective of stuff. And I think it's nice to have a collaborative. And I take it quite well now. I think it's hard because you think you know the best for the brand, but then you don't all the time. But I think having that in, but having them feel like they can tell you no is probably the biggest thing.
The reason why I asked, by the way, is because it was literally like yesterday or the day before, and one of your TikToks came up.
And Eleanor shouted at me.
Commented on it saying, I've been gone for a minute. Why are you talking about this?
And especially I think it's funny as well, because I'll go, I've had this idea, right, I'm going to do it now and I'm going to post it. And she goes, calm down and have a minute. She goes, if you still want to post it in a few hours, we'll post it, but just calm down. And I think that's helpful because I do get really excited, and because we were such a small brand, I used to be able to tell everyone that was going on, and I still want people to feel like they know what's going on, but there's things that I physically can't say now, and I'm really bad.
Like what?
I can't say.
Clip it. Yeah. Clip it. That's the cliffhanger for the trailer.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Let's say it and then beep it over.
Yeah. Go on, say it.
So around the UK.
We're not gonna cut it out now.
You definitely are, because it won't happen.
How did that even happen?
That has been a long process, and that's been a hard process. So we were due to launch this year and it got pushed back. Okay. And then we were due to launch around now and it got pushed back. And I think that's really disheartening because we were so excited and we know the product will do so well there. And I think that was a learning lesson. Like, not that I told a lot of people, but I got really excited and I feel like I got my hopes up on something. So it's now going to be next year, which if anything, it's been better for the brand. We're in a much better position. Yeah. Everything's happened for a reason. We probably weren't prepared for it last year. And then we basically had a conversation with them. I had every single piece of information out about Boosted to sell this brand. And the minute we got on the Zoom, the girl was like, no, we love you. We just want to stock it. Like,
what
we know.
Feeling? How would that feel like in that moment?
I think she thought the Zoom froze because I just went, I was like, can I tell you everything I've got on my sheets?
you spent ages doing
it. It was
all
like a 20-minute phone call, and I was like, oh, okay. And I think that was like quite that made me step back and think, do you know what, people actually know Boosted. Like, you might look, like I always say to Eleanor all the time, you get so hung up on views and you'll be like, I've got 400 views on that, but that one person that viewed, that could work for like a Sephora.
Yeah.
Or could work for like a beauty bay, and they could be your number one customer, and then just go in the right meeting. There's this brand, you know, that I use all the time. These might be good. So I think
people work in there as well. I know, obviously, I don't know the grand scheme of things, how much weight somebody working there would look at. But then if you look at the different age groups you've got in your business, how many different age groups use the product?
Yeah.
It could be someone noticing, I need that product, and I'm in the shop and it's not even
We
in
do
here.
it all the time, and I'd be like, what perfume have you got on? And they're like, oh, it's this one, I'll go out and buy it. Like, it's so easily done. All the like when Eleanor started, she knew brands that I didn't know. So then we work with different type of brands now. And I think having that range helps.
That news that's like transformational. That could potentially...
It's going to change the brand completely.
Yeah.
And I think that's scary as well, because I had to make a decision probably at the beginning of last year. What do I want the brand to be? Do I want it to be what it is now, where I can have a comfortable life and it's still quite local and it's still this? Or do I want it to become this big thing? And that was scary because it's my baby, and it's like the minute you become bigger, you've got to have more people, more things have to be done. It's not as easy going. It's not as, oh, I'll do this on a whim. It's very much more planned out. And I think making that decision was quite scary. And I've made the decision that I believe the product is needed bigger.
Yeah.
So I think that decision, but then it's kind of then given away, like that little small brand that was in my bedroom will be responsible for maybe hundreds of people's wages in the future.
Yeah.
Like their life, like that's scary. Like having staff is scary.
Yeah.
It's helpful, but it's scary. And I think...
But on the flip side, all that responsibility that the brand carries, think of the impact it's having on all the people that's using it.
And I think as well, it's nice as well, because I think it's so easy to keep your brand for you and be like, I want it like this, I need it like this. But there's so many people that also need the product. And I think we're quite unique in the fact that we don't have many competitors. And I think like a beauty market is so oversaturated and people can stand out. But I think the people who are standing out at the minute are like quite celebrity driven, which is amazing because it's fun. And
do you mean in terms of like ownership or marketing?
Both. And I think with us, we're not really competing. Like we do have competitors in similar products, but we're not really competing. It's not like a toxic competitive.
Yeah.
There's space for us all because there's not many of us yet. So I think it's not that like cutthroat where you're like, I've got more ad spend than this one. I've got more of this. You should shop with me instead of this one because I've got this. So I feel like we're quite in a lucky position that the product's so niche.
Do you think the competition could quickly change as soon as you go into like that retailer that you mentioned?
I do, because we do have competitors and they all do really well as well. I think there is space for us all, and I've not come across one of the competitors. I mean, we had one smaller brand that stole all our Instagram followers and could message them all, used our font, but they've not become a brand because I'm a true believer, if someone's copying you, they're behind you.
Yeah.
So if we've already put that product out, that messaging out, we're working on the next one, where if they're then copying that one, they're not ready for the next one. So I think allowing people to do it as well, like I really got hung up on, that really upset me. And I was like, you know what, it's going to happen. I can't stop people from doing it.
Yeah.
And I think not listening to it and not letting it get to you, because I know my customers that I've never met were commenting on them going, why are you copying Boosted for? And I was like, I think the fact that we've got like such a strong, we have, it's like a cult. My friends go, you have got a Boosted cult. And I'm like, I know.
So obviously Liverpool's a big place, but at the same time, it's actually a small place. It can feel like a small place. How does that feel? Like, I assume because of the type of product it is as well, like nightlife culture and everything, it must be big. So when you go out and stuff, like you must be around people that are buying the product all the time. Yeah,
like I always say I went to Albert Slosh for my birthday and the girl was like, you're Boosted, Beth, I've got you on, and lifted her top up. And I mate was like, you can't just flatter that poor girl. And like, I always have it in my handbag and girls come over going, have you got the double-sided? Like my dress has fallen down. And I'm like, yeah, and I'll do it in the toilet. And I think that in Liverpool is a big thing, but we went to London and it happened and it really took me back. I was like, oh my God, like, because Liverpool's such a friendly place and we talk to anyone anyway. But when we were in London, I was like, oh my God, this is bizarre that people know us here as well. And I went to Spain and someone said to me in Spain and I was like, okay, so we are a Liverpool brand as well. I'm so proud to be from here, but I feel like only about 20 to 30% of our customers Liverpool based.
Really?
So I think we are very much glamorous. We go out a lot. Product isn't for us, but I think other cities are catching up and they do love I think they love Scouse. I think it's hard to not like a Scouser. And I think
it's a whole thing. Like the it feeds into other segments of e-commerce, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like other beauty things as well, but even fashion, like we talked briefly at
We
the
have
start
our own
about
fashion.
Yeah, it's just everyone sort of follows the Liverpool trend.
And I think it's nice, and I think we've got quite a friendly feel to us. So I love that people feel like they can come up to me. Because I've been in places where like, oh my God, that's that girl over there, but I'm not going to go and say hi. But I feel like the fact that they can come over, I love it. And it makes me so, like, my friends love it as well. Like, I'm so lucky with my friends. Do you know when you see people where like they put Instagram posts on and they're like, your best friends won't support you, but they'll support us. That's not my friend. Like, they're so supportive. Like, they're funny. Like, one girl was like, I think that's that girl from Boosted Tape over there. My mate like swung the door open and she was like, yeah, it is. It's Beth. And I was like, okay, Sarah, calm down. So I was like, having that like friendly approach is what we're trying to keep as a brand. Because as you grow, that's hard to keep. It's hard.
And that's going to be quite big over the next couple of years for you then,
and like any face we put to the brand, anyone we work with, we're so particular that like that is the image, like we're approachable. Because it's a scary product. It's a personal product. Yeah. It's an embarrassing product for a lot of people.
What makes it embarrassing?
I was so not body confident when I was growing up. I didn't have the body that my friends had. And I think with like, especially with boobs, I think they're overly sexualized a lot. And I think if you're young, it's embarrassing. Like I used to get skidded by the boys in school because I had boobs before anyone else did. And it's like that type of it. It's embarrassing. Like you're like, I actually can't wear a bra with this dress. How am I meant to wear it? So the fact that they feel like they can ask me is probably the biggest thing that I love about Boosted.
How do you manage that on socials then? Because I know you did briefly mention that to me when I think we might have been talking about like maybe using other graphic designer stuff when we first went. And you said about sexualizing things, because obviously you've got a real nice balance where on certain products you've got like boobs on it, but it's not sexualized.
Yeah, it's like more fun.
Yeah.
And I think our products are quite discreet in the fact where like we don't have like, with photo shoots as well, we don't have like girls fully naked or like photos. Like a lot of the time it's like outfits and you show a little bit.
Okay.
Because we have girls from like different religions. Yeah. We have girls who are younger. So our packaging just comes in a pink bag. So if your dad's home and he's like a discreet. Proper, like my dad wouldn't care. Yeah. But like if it's like a strict household, they're not going to shout at you. They probably just think it's makeup. So I think
there's so much thought that's gone into that.
I think it's so easy because I always think as a fuller bust, I can get a lot of bras from Ann Summers and they're not sexy, but Ann Summers has such a name to it now for being sexy.
Yeah, yeah.
So I remember ordering bras and they were in an Ann Summers bag and my dad made a joke about it. And I was like, no, it's just like a normal bra. And I think if we want to be accessible to the world, different countries have different cultures and different things are acceptable. Like in the UK, we're quite free of what we can do, but other countries don't have that. And I think we're pink and red, which is obviously girly, but it's not overly obvious what we are when you first see the sign. And I think it also allows us to make other products as well. If we were so heavily boob focused, we're so put into just doing that. Yeah. Where Boosted can mean anything. It is just a boost of confidence.
Well, I was just going to say, because we said at the start, didn't we, is it Boosted or Boosted Tape? Like which one? But Boosted, I guess, opened you up to a whole new field.
Yeah, like a boost of confidence. Like my friends always say, it's like a brand, that girl in a toilet that has everything in the handbag that will lend it out to you. And that's what we want to be when we're on socials. And I love that part of us. And I think we never bring anything out to just bring anything out. So everything has a purpose. So we brought a lip balm out last year. Lip balms are everywhere, but ours is a nipple balm formula. Okay. So I used to use nipple balm on my lips because I have psoriasis and it's more nourishing, but you don't want to whip nipple balm out when you're on a night out. So we made it into a lip balm. So it's like, we're not just bringing a product out to bring a product out. Everything is so overly thought out. Because I always think we're a niche product for a reason. So I don't want to just then be a generic brand.
So when you look at the product landscape and stuff, like it, for somebody like even myself, business owner, but I don't sell products. So that product sourcing, buying is like a whole new world to me. So what does that process even look like? So you've got your key products now that you know will always sell. Some things that you bring out, new release, some things might be seasonal, I'm not too sure. But how do you even go and find new product? How does that look for you?
So I've got a very good supplier from the beginning who sends me new things they're working on, new things they're developing on. I can send them ideas or I'll say to them, I've got this bit of a problem, like what can you solve it with? I've just got back from China, which was unbelievable. I've been to China before for another job, but to go for Boosted was unbelievable. And a lot of people are like, loads of people are out there. Why are they out there now? So there's a thing called the Canton Fair and it's out 2 times a year. So it's on in May and then it's on like now. Yeah. And it has different phases. So for different departments, like homeware, electrics, fashion. And basically that is like the size of Liverpool, this exhibition, and every stand is a factory.
Okay.
So they'll showcase their newest things, what they can make, what they do make, and you can just walk around and get their contact details.
Okay.
And anyone can go. So if you're going to start a brand, I always say, you're going to start a brand, it's very easy to go, I'm going to go to China. I've been doing Boosted 3 years now, and this is the first time I've gone.
Yeah.
These are big factories at these places, so the MOQs, the minimum order quantities, are going to be high. So you've got to know what you want, know your numbers, know what you're doing. I think for inspiration, amazing, but it's not always doable. Like, you might love a product, but the MOQ on it is so ridiculously high that you can't have it. So I think that is a really helpful place to go. And I think not a lot of people talk about it. I think you see loads of people like going, oh, I've gone to China to meet with factories, but they don't tell you how or why or like why.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. So like people go, why did you go? You can speak to them or and I was like, yeah, I speak to them, but it's relationship building. I want them to prioritize Boosted. Okay. And I think with my tape supplier, they believed in Boosted from the beginning because they didn't usually allow small MOQs, and they did for me.
And then they've seen it.
Because they didn't have they didn't have anyone in the UK using their products, and they wanted to go into the UK market. And I think they were massive there when like their normal MOQs were like 10,000 a shade, and they let me buy 60.
Was that at the start? Is that kind
at
of
the
what
very start?
What just for comparison, what would that look like on average for you now? Like an order, or what would you sell on a weekly basis?
On a weekly basis now, we're going through like 500-600 rolls, and this is our quiet time. Okay. In summer, we were going through that. Ellen had packed each one. We all do it thousands.
But your job was social media.
Yeah, she's jack of all trades. But that thing of them taking a risk on me, I sold the brand to them of what I believed they could have been. And I think a lot of people speak to other countries and they're like, well, I want this and I need this. You have to work with them. Okay. You're not always going to get the lowest price, but the quality will be there, or the working conditions. So when I went now to visit my factory, seeing the people who make our products is so important. Yeah. We went to some factories that we don't work with that were a bit more like, oh, there's no windows in here. Like the staff look tired. Like you could see the difference. Where my balm supplier was unbelievable. We had the best time. It took us for coffee. We went out and everything. But there was a woman in the labs, a woman who had a PhD doing all the labs. There was the girls in the factory were talking to each other as they were working, like little things like that.
Just felt like a bit more of a culture to
it. Because their culture's so different, and it's always going to be so different, and they do work such long hours, and that's normal to them. But like just knowing that I might be like an extra few pence on that roll, but this is the reason why. Yeah. Is so important. And I say that to my followers all the time, and the customers like, we charge this much, which is just still affordable. But people go to me all the time, you can get that for £1 on Shein. Like you can't. The quality isn't the same. Okay. You don't know who's making them. You don't know who's like you. I have such a responsibility to make sure even the people in another country are being treated well. Because just me as a person, but also I think as a brand, you've got a responsibility. You can't be working into sweatshops. You can't. Yeah. Like it's so easy to do because they throw good prices at you, and you think I could really make a profit on that.
Well, there's been a lot of big brands that have been outed for it over the years, isn't there?
And I think we're affordable, but we're not cheap. And I think that's the big thing. I never want to say we're cheap because we're not. The product quality is unbelievable. And anyone who's tried it, go, do you know what? I can see the difference now. It is so different. I just think visiting the factory if you can and you've got the ability to. But like I said, I'm 3 years in. I could have spent all that money going last year and I didn't. We weren't ready for it. So I think don't compare yourself to. Don't see me going to China and think, God, I should be going to China. If it's not ready for you and you don't need to, then don't.
Even looking at timeframes doesn't make sense sometimes, is it? Because you just don't know what the background is, what's happened.
And I also went for 4.5 days. Like I travelled 48 hours for 4.5 days. So it's just different for everyone.
So what would you say, off the back of that, what would you say were sort of your biggest takeaways from being over in China?
I got the excitement for the brand back again, because I think this is something people are talking about now, but it's okay not to love your brand every single day. Like you're doing it day in, day out, day in, day out. And sometimes you need a minute. Yeah. And I left feeling so excited and seeing what the factories think about Boosted and like seeing our products being made and how they're being made. And it was so exciting thinking of new products. We could see it there and then. I could try them there and then. And we've come back with loads of new product ideas and loads of ideas to make our product that little bit better. Yeah. And seeing how a different culture is as well. Like, it's a completely different culture to us, and the way they are, they're so respectful. They're so proud of what they do. And I think it makes you think, you know what, we're doing all right. Like, I think we live in a world where it's like, someone gives me a compliment, I go, oh no. So like, if someone goes, I love that jacket, I go, do you know what, it's dead cheap, you know? Where like, it's fine to go, do you know what, I've done really well. Like, we've built it to this point. And I think that's what China brought me. As much as it was amazing to see the factories, it was just that bit more belief.
brought a piece of it home with you a little bit.
And like bringing it back to the girls and like even FaceTiming them, like because the time difference was so weird. So I'd FaceTime them at night and seeing them in the office and showing them what I was doing. Like they were just as excited. And I feel like it's brought the excitement back. Yeah.
I think that it's a fair point. Like me and, you've not met Liam yet, have you?
No.
Liam, my business partner, we talk about it all the time. Like, and one of our other business partners talks about the difference in being burnt out and being bored. And I think that's a big misconception in business as well. Sometimes you assume that you're burnt out because you've been working too much, but sometimes you're just bored.
And I think I sometimes work long hours, but it's not needed. I feel guilty for being like, do you know what? I'll just work a normal day today or I'll have the day off.
Yeah.
And I think you burn yourself out. Like the girls say to me all the time, like, just leave, it's fine, you know? Like, we're fine. And I feel like that helps a lot. And I feel like just having a minute. Like I went on holiday with the girls and it was the first holiday of having the 2 girls in the unit back at thinking I went on holiday. And my friend looked at me and she went, I'm just glad to have you back. And I was like, well, you're on about I've been here. And she was like, no, but you're not on your phone. You're not. Yeah. And I think your friends, when you're a business owner, your friends take on a lot. And I think that's why people do lose friends. I wasn't a good, like, you're not always a good friend when you're in a business. Like I was answering the phone. I wasn't coming to certain parties. I wasn't going out with them. I wasn't asking how they were every day because I was so burnt out. And I think realizing that is having people around you that truly are your friend is so important.
You mentioned earlier on that you were obviously an only child. Have you ever felt lonely in business?
I'm from a huge family. So an only child is lovely for me.
Okay.
I leave my families and I'm like, oh, I can have a minute. But it is lonely. And I think owning a business is lonely because as much as the girls are always so there for me, they really are. You don't want to put a lot of burdens on them either. Like they are coming in for a job and I don't want to. But I think I've made friends with a lot of business owners in the city that we all do genuinely help each other and that helps. And I think asking for help and saying you're struggling is a massive thing. And like everyone is struggling. Like you think it's just you and it's really not.
It's not,
And I think it is lonely. It's because it's responsibility's on you at the end of the day. If you don't get it done, then it's not getting done. No one's there to tell you to do it.
Yeah. The buck always stops at you, doesn't it? Sometimes that's a daunting feeling. Sometimes it can empower you. I think it depends on the situation, doesn't it?
I work really well under pressure. So if I know I've only got like an hour to do something, I'll do it within the hour. If I've got 8 hours to do it, I'll wait till the hour ends.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I just started brushing up in the unit the other day and I had like 15 emails to get back to and I was like, what am I doing this to? But I feel like, you've been responsible for your own time.
Okay. So for you, we've got a couple of minutes left now. For you as Beth and growing the team, potentially looking at the opportunities that you've got, some of the like upcoming things that are coming, what do you think you have to work on yourself as an entrepreneur, as a business owner? What do you think you need to work on to, get the full potential out of yourself, your team, the brand?
I think learning to be a manager, business owner, like learning to communicate better. Like I'm really bad at keeping things in my head and then they blow up.
Yeah.
And I think learning to give things to other people, learning to trust. Like I do trust my girls now, but even like trusting that something will happen. Like I'm very much, well, if it's not here now, why is it not here now? And just actually being content in now. Like I always think 3 years ago, I would have been blown away with what I'm doing. And I'm already thinking about the next thing. Like I never actually enjoyed the thing that's just happened. Like we enjoyed the unit and then I was like, right, what's next?
Yeah.
And I think that's a really negative way to live, thinking of what, I mean, it's good because it drives you on.
Yeah.
But like being happy in where we are now, like we don't have to, I don't want to be a viral brand anymore. I used to love when we went viral. I don't want that now. I want consistency. I'd rather never have another viral video, but consistently have sales throughout the month. And I think that is probably my main thing.
It's the maturity of the business, isn't it?
Yeah.
It goes through that
You're not
phase.
going to be you're more of a brand than a business. And I think that's what we're shifting towards now.
So what, obviously you mentioned about like virality and stuff like that, but what would you say is the main difference in your opinion between a brand and a business?
I think a brand has a reason. I think a brand has a voice as well. And I think a lot of brands are tapping into brand owners now being the face.
Yeah.
I think they always have to. Like you'll go to the high street and Zara is still the most popular thing in the world. Who owns Zara? Who actually knows who owns Zara? So it's like, but they know their customer so well. Yeah. I think sometimes they're in my brain because when I walk in their shop, they know what I've gone in for. And I think a business is good at selling products consistently, which is amazing and it'll make money. But also it's like a brand that you'd see in a supermarket that you just grab while you're there. It's not a brand you'd purposely look for.
Okay.
I think a business has a product that you'll get if it's there, but a brand is something that you'll search for until you find that. But you can buy boob tape from other companies, but Boosted is the reason why we've got our customer.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say it'll stand out on the shelves as well, probably.
Yeah. Very pink and red.
Yeah, it's cool. Honestly, like, obviously, I'm not a big pink man. I say I'm not a big pink man. I got a big pink neon sign in my office, so maybe I'm a pink man. I don't know, but that sort of that sign is a symbol for me of exactly what you just said, which is about the journey and enjoying it. I feel I'm definitely not. I'm going to relate it to myself. I'm definitely not the only one. I think every business owner that's just heard you say about enjoying something or not enjoying something, moving on to the next thing, it resonates with so many people.
I've not done it yet. I still think about the next thing. I still don't enjoy the moment.
There's also a power in that though as well.
Yeah.
So it's not a case of always being one thing, is it? It's just the balance of it.
I just think enjoy, because I think I look back now and I go, God, I wish we were still like small and like the fun I could have with it then. And I'll look back at this point in like 2 years' time and go, God, I wish we were still like that because I could do this. So I think it's just enjoying now.
Yeah.
It's so hard though.
Yeah, it is. Where can people find more? What we sometimes do on this podcast, and sometimes it's essential, sometimes it's not. Generally, if we have listeners from like other businesses that might not be Liverpool based, they might not know who Boosted is, but I like to keep them on the edge a little bit so that they'll go further and maybe look at your stuff. So where can they find you? So
we are TikTok, Boosted Tape. TikTok shop is probably the easiest way you can shop us. We are on our website, which is just boostedtape.com. Pretty Little Thing is our stockers, which has been...
We haven't even spoke about
Pretty Little Thing. They were our stockers within us being 6 months old. They're still here now to this day. We still sell out constantly. We've just launched on Amazon, so you can get us on Prime. So for them last minute girlies, you can actually get us on Prime. And then Ireland is a country we're working on for the next few months. So something really exciting is going to be happening with Ireland.
Can you give us an insight?
TikTok shop's growing on Ireland. Okay. And we're hopefully going to be dipping our toe into that market.
Okay. So that's a new thing as well. So there's a lot.
There's a lot going on. Yeah.
But does it help just to list those things and go, oh,
yeah, we go through our calendars and like work and we're like, oh wow, we've got like we're doing a breast cancer gala on Saturday because we work with a local breast cancer charity, and that is even like amazing that we get. I think that humbles you. Like you meet these women. We're doing a coffee morning as well, and I'm stressing over the most minuscule thing. Then I'm meeting someone who's potentially gonna lose their life. And I think, do you know what? Life's not that bad. I need to enjoy the moment. So I think that's really good as well.
To finish off with one final message, I want you to try and think of a certain type of person that's going to be watching or listening to this that you would resonate with, that you want to inspire. What would be, whoever that is, what would be your number one piece of advice for them?
Try it. If Boosted didn't work, I'd have gone back to work. Never be too big-headed to go back to your job that you've done before. I had a gym wear brand with my best friend before Boosted. Done all right, didn't do amazing. We had to close it down, start again. I think try it. If it doesn't work, you can say you've had a go. And I think people get too scared to just try things because they want to be successful and they're scared. No one's bothered if you fail. Like I think you're very in your own head and like everyone's going to be talking about me. Everyone's got their own lives going on. They don't care what you're doing. So I think, just try it.
I think we can finish on that, can't we? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.